Hey everybody, John Comp, Northwoods Whitetails Seed Company, coming to you from Upper Michigan. And look at, leaves are starting to turn. Not too far away we'll be hunting. So we're in a beautiful brassica plot right now. And I want to talk about a few things. I actually hadn't planned on doing a video today, but we were up here spraying. I just walked this whole food plot. This is about 5/8 of an acre. And actually maybe closer to 3/4. But I walked this whole food plot with a electric backpack sprayer, and we were putting down AP fertilizer and nitrogen combination. I dropped a little bit of calcium in it, heavy on the water. You can see there's no coating on the plants. Beautiful green colors. So let me explain how this was done. This spring, when we could get in here, it was a wet spring, so we were a little bit late getting in. Now this was brassicas last year, okay? And I usually don't do this, but this is the second year in a row. But what we did this spring, we put soil builder with an annual clover in. And like I said, we talk about clovers. I think there's a time and a place for annual clovers like Berseem, Crimson. It's springtime planting for this. Now, we had the soil builder put in, and then we had a really wet spring, and it struggled to grow just because this was so wet. Let's see, you can see a little bit of grass throughout in here. We're still trying to we got most of it knocked out of here, but up on top of that hill and around the corner, there was a lot of quackgrass, and I just didn't want to deal with it, let it get out of hand. So I came in I think it was early June, and sprayed this with Roundup, killed everything. And then the ground was soft enough. I usually don't recommend doing this without tillage, a little bit of ground busting up the top layer of the ground. But this ground was soft enough. We took our old case grain drill, not a no-till drill, a case grain drill, cut down grain drill, that we got from River Bottom Cedars in Abrams, Wisconsin. It goes behind a four-wheeler, and I had the lawn roller behind that, and we drilled Roundup Ready soybeans. Now you can see this is what's left. There's a little bit of soybeans in here, and not much. That's not much left. They grew well. They struggled because, I'm sorry, they germinated well, but then they struggled in the summer because we had a really wet June. And again, there's some places in here that was standing water. So the plan was to come in and spray the grass one more time, kill it, and then right before we got another rain, late July, we came in here, broadcast the sweet feast, and we also drilled a little bit of sun hemp, buckwheat, and a lot of winter peas. And I can see the winter peas coming in here. And it actually turned out quite well. So those were kind of the candy crops in here, the companion crops. And then when we were done planting, we sprayed the 3-cal liquid lime, the starter fertilizer, a little bit of AP, and a little bit of nitrogen. But I think the AP and the nitrogen, that's what we sprayed today, that really needs to be a foliar spray. So it turned out really well. This was done no-till. And a couple of things I want to talk about. Just myths, just bad information I'm seeing, social media, other seed companies. First one I want to talk about is, now we have a cell camera in that tree right there, and we had it last year as well. And I saw the exact same thing on this food plot. People say, and other seed companies are saying, deer don't eat kale. Well, I don't know, they're eating that kale. There's kale there, there's a really good one right there. That's all kale that they're eating, okay? You can look around and there's no browse pressure on the radishes, the turnips, or anything like that. So they're in here eating kale, they're eating the winter peas, they're eating, I don't really see any of the sun hemp left, but I didn't put a lot in here, but I don't see any. I take that back. Here's one plant here. This is sun hemp right here. But I just think it's too cold to grow up here. And I don't see any buckwheat. So the young buckwheat, that's all but gone. So that's one myth that, seed companies are saying, and YouTube personalities, well, deer don't like kale. I keep telling yourself. The second thing I want to talk about, wait, why are we back in the office? It's because I struggle with technology. So I've shot this second segment twice. The first time, I had the camera turned wrong, and so the framing was wrong. And then the second time when I went to edit the video, Somehow the sound wasn't working, so I'm like, I'm not going out there a third time because we need to let this property rest. So I am not going back out in that food plot. So I thought I'll shoot the second segment here because I just need to talk about an issue that I saw about 10 days ago. So the issue that I saw about 10 days ago, one of our customers on social media posted a sweet feast planting and it was full of lamb's quarter. It was really bad. And he was asking, what do I do? What do you think about this? I actually reached out to the customer like we typically do. If we see customers have problems that don't reach out to us, we'll try to reach out to them because we want to rectify that problem, use it as a learning experience. So I reached out to him and said, this is what I think you should do. He's going to replant a short season brassica because he doesn't have much time left. And this is what I want you to do. This is what you've done in the past. Do this, and hopefully he's going to have a great food plot. But the thing that was disappointing, some of the pro staffers, haters come on and, that's what you get with Northwoods, a bunch of weeds. Go buy from here and buy from here. I get it. There's people that don't like us. We're becoming a pretty big seed company. I get it. But the one that was really disappointing was a hunting, and I'm not going to call him a celebrity. These guys that, they shoot big deer and all of a sudden they're a celebrity, really. He's a hunting personality. He's represented by another seed company. First thing out of his mouth was, well, you got contaminated seed. And I did reach out to him. And I said, I can't believe you'd say something like that. You're supposed to be a well-respected individual in the industry, and that's your first comment about our company. You've never been here, never bought our seed. You have no idea how hard we work to make sure we get the cleanest, freshest, best products to our customers. Our products come from, I think we're up to 6 different vendors now because we like this vendor, we like this vendor for this product, we like that vendor. I'm not running down to Billy Bob's Seed Emporium and buying all our seed. That's not where we've scoured the country trying to find the best suppliers for particular seed blends. But it was kind of disappointing somebody with that, and clout is a pretty strong word, but somebody of his stature running down our company just because he's backed by another seed company. It is showing you what. And I'm not just the hunting industry. I think just social media in general. It's like I said, folks, you got to be careful who you're listening to, who you're watching, who you're getting your information from. It's kind of like watching WWE. Bought and paid for, entertainment, not much value. And that includes this gentleman in particular. So, folks, I've walked this food plot twice now, spraying our liquid products, looking for weeds, just looking at how each plant is doing and how the food plot is doing. There is 0 weeds in this plot. Okay, this was done without tillage. So if there was a weed seed issue in our brassica blend, I would have seen it and I would have dealt with it. But the other thing, think about this. This is our 13th year in business. We've sold tens and thousands of bags of Sweet Feast brassica blend. If we were selling a bag of lamb's quarter, we would have known that a long, long time ago. With tillage, you might have weeds, especially if it's a brand new plot, And, the old saying in Jurassic Park, Mother Nature finds a way. And if it's a drought, if it's a dry period, we're seeing a lot more weed issues. Opposite as well. If it's a lot of rain, really wet, you can see weed issues. So just something I want to talk about, maybe venting a little bit, how disappointed I've become with a lot of social media. And it's just unfortunate with these pro staffers, what they say. And, try to let it go in one ear and out the other because, that's just the way life is, unfortunately. That's part of this business. So let's head out to the plot. Last thing I want to talk about is some of this no-till, throw and grow methods guys are really promoting. And I'm just going to give you my take on it. Okay, and I want to put this out there because I've been accused of hating no-till. I don't hate no-till. I hate no success. Okay, and I see more no success with no-till than I do with getting the seeds covered. I'm just being honest. I talk to hundreds of people a year, okay? And I know it works and I know it doesn't work. And I'm not saying don't do it. If I know some guys in Michigan, I don't want to give the guy's name, but he does a phenomenal job with no-till. I know another guy north of me by an hour, he's got it, but the guy north of me by an hour, he does it with a drill. Does a great job, but 95% of the people watching these videos right now and our customers don't have drills. But I know a few guys that do no-till, with the buckwheat or like our soil builder, and it does a great job. But I just want people to understand, I'm not against no-till, I'm against no success. Here's a perfect example. We raced up here to overseed this with rye, and the reason I'm overseeding with rye is because I want green food next spring. There might be a component of food in here by November because this is a small brassica plot and this was gone by, I would say, November 5th. Just a few bulbs left. Okay, so I still want green in here. So we're gonna probably put 100 to 150 pounds of rye in here, but the first 75 pounds went down Friday, a week ago. Today is Labor Day Monday. And you can see there's rye everywhere in here and none of it's germinated. Why? Because the rain that's been promised 3 times has dissipated. And I've watched this for 4 years now. It comes across Wisconsin, you know, western Wisconsin, they're just getting hammered. It comes across, it hits central Wisconsin, Wausau, Antigo, it starts to break up. I saw this last storm 5 miles to the northeast just go poof. You know, the Bay of Green Bay is right over here, less than a mile. And I don't know if there's something to do with that. I have no idea. But I've watched this for 4 years now. This was misted on very lightly and it never germinated. Now it's a little bit light soil. There's a little bit of a crust on the ground, okay? That is 2 weeks old, I think. That was all covered. But let's walk over here. I'm gonna show you something over here. And again, please don't think I'm against no-till. I'm against no success. Well, this is looking really nice. Radishes are popping. Red clover's growing really well. You can see browse pressure on the oats. There's a ton of browse pressure out here. But, let's see. Look at right here. These little guys, these are oats. They tried to throw a root and died. He threw a root, died. He threw a root, died. There's another one, died. Another one, he threw a root and died. Maybe they'll get a chance to grow if we have a couple of rains. I'm not sure, but I know there's roots sticking out of there and they didn't go anywhere. So this is my point. If I came up here and planted this whole thing with those forecasted rains, we'd have a bare plot right now. But in fact, I did a light tillage with the tiller, knocked down red clover, and I think there was a summer soil builder. I gotta check my notes, I can't remember what we had in here. But we knocked that down, got this dragged in, covered, packed. Look at it, it's beautiful. And it's 2 weeks old maybe? That looks great. We're gonna have a great part of the food plot. So, you know, you look back here where the rye is, there's 75 pounds of rye that was put down here. It's not growing. Look at all this rye. Okay. You know, they say it'll grow in the back of a pickup truck. Yeah. What's the one thing it needs? Rain. Here's another one. These are winter peas that we drilled in. Here's winter peas that made it over here from the cedar. They're just sitting here. Are they gonna make it? Maybe. But I mean, look at, there's a rye root right there. It's hard to say with the camera. I don't know. Is he gonna make it? Is it gonna come back? I doubt it. I might have wasted 75 pounds of rye seed. And it's all because the rain's not here. If we would have got the rain that they were forecasting, we have had, since the day I overseeded this, we've missed 3 rains now. I watched the front come across 2 nights ago, come across from Canada down through northern Minnesota, all through upper Michigan, and it got 5 miles from here and it just dissipated. It was just disheartening to watch on the radar. But when I talk about getting the seeds buried, I don't think this could be a clear indication of why I recommend that. That was buried and it's growing great, and that had 1 rain on it. This, not buried, sitting on top of the ground. It had a light misting on it, and it's not growing. It's not gonna grow. We don't have any rain in the forecast for 10 days here. So that's gonna put us to September 12th, 13th, 14th. There might be a pop-up shower here and there, but that's why when people hear me talk about burying the seed, that's what I'm talking about, because you can't count on these weathermen. I don't know. I look at Weather Underground, and I those guys couldn't be right if their life depended on it. But anyhow, that's just what I wanted to talk about today. Just some stuff that I saw in this food plot that I kind of laugh at on social media. You know, look at right here. Yeah, deer don't eat kale. No, keep telling yourself that. Look at, this is all kale right here, all eaten. So I think the Sweet Feast blend is the best on the market, and I just wanted to point out some of the nonsense that we see in here. You know, that whole weed in the bag thing, that was, I don't know, that was just crazy, and I just wanted to point that out. Thanks for watching, folks. We got some great videos coming up on clovers. We're going to talk about that project. We're going to show you the whole layout of this food plot system here. What's really cool about this is we got a nook and cranny over here. There's another one around the corner. There's another one back here. You can't cover it all, but that's good. We're trying something completely different. Instead of one giant field that one guy can cover, you need 5 guys to cover all these food plots. So a lot of places for the deer to hide. Really cool piece of ground. And we're going to take you through here this fall and show you what we're doing. So thanks for watching, folks. We will see you in a few days.